Jamie. Jamie is a 4th degree white belt. He's super tall, super strong for his age, super competitive, and a former Muay Thai fighter. He has a little bit of experience in Jiu-Jitsu, and I really enjoy rolling with him because I have a torn MCL on my knee, and he doesn't care. He attacks it, moves it, pushes it, which I love because I need the practice of keeping it safe. So when I roll with him, he always humbles me and reminds me that I have to stay safe in these type of environments, which thus I can take into roles with higher belts, that knowledge, and God forbid anything were to happen outside our beautiful gym. So let's start this. So a funny thing about Jamie is I always try to give hugs when I roll, when we start, and he just doesn't believe that's what I'm doing. He always thinks I'm trying to do something sneaky, so he always tries to not give me a hug. I don't know where that came from, but that's how it always is. Okay, so right here, I'm trying to break grips, obviously, and trying to establish more dominant grips of my own. What I would like to see is Jamie already pulling. He's just kind of sitting back rather than pulling to make me step or create movement. So Jamie, if you're watching this, you need to create movement. You're a lot bigger than me. You're a heck of a lot stronger than me. So when we say this misconception of, oh, don't use all your strength in jiu-jitsu, I think that's wrong. I think it's perfectly okay for you to use strength in the right situations where strength could be called for. Being strong the whole time takes away from being able to learn technique, but there's definitely certain scenarios in jiu-jitsu where you need to be strong, and I think this is one of them. You need to be tearing my collar off, getting me to my knee, So as I'm trying to work grips with you, I think you pull guard. Beautiful. Now you were a little late on that scissor sweep when you pulled guard because, watch. Okay, boom, here. Now, here's the thing. Now, I'm still on my feet here for that scissor sweep. If you really wanted to get that, this bottom foot here needs to be controlled because I'm gonna step over, right? And then try to knee cut through. If you can't get control of this bottom foot, I would have liked to see you almost pull this leg a little higher so I couldn't step over and then push me with this foot. I think it would have been a little bit more successful. Now, right here, this is what I call it, like the default white belt brain. Your default white belt brain went to, I'm going to accept where my legs are, accept that my knee is starting to cut starting to knee pass, right? You're accepting this scenario because you've been in this scenario before. And this is a very reactive style of thinking, waiting for me to do something so you can do something back. The unfortunate part about that is, again, I'm a purple belt, been doing it for a while, been grappling in total for 20 years, right? So letting me act first is very disadvantageous. Whatever, letting me act first is not good for you, right? So I would have liked to see you just use some of your strength. Pull me in, get your closed guard, right? So now I'm talking to you, and now I got control of that leg, and now I've passed, right? And as you see, it was right here. Because you're not doing anything with this leg or trying to pull me in, you're gonna give me free access to your knee over here. Sorry, backwards. Free access to your knee over here, right? And then with the access to the knee over here, I'm gonna pop it behind me and then knee slice through, just like so, right? Now I get to knee on belly here a lot because what I'm trying to do again, which I do to a lot of people, is I'm trying to make you feel uncomfortable and do what you're kind of doing right now. How you're giving me all these, you're pushing into me, right? You're giving me tall arms, long arms. Anytime we're in these type of situations, if I'm on top It's better to default right now as a white belt to just T-Rex arms, elbows in, and just stay small, shrimp, push my knee away. You should have been focused on pushing this knee, shrimping out T-Rex arms. Now, again, I'm just trying to put pressure. I'm trying to get you to push off on me, which I think you're doing right now. And then now see what I'm starting to do here? I'm starting to get my leg under your armpit because I want to trap that arm for the arm bar. But the thing is right here, I'm having a lapel behind your neck or in front, I can't tell. But I'm really just using this to get you more focused on the lapel, not the fact that I'm looking for your arm. And then boom. So you're very focused on the lapel, right? So I'm now splitting your focus, right? I'm not necessarily attacking your arm yet, but I'm scooping my hip under your arm so I can do the pivot, turn, and then execute an arm bar, right? And I'm waiting for you to do what you just did. Get scared of the lapel, right? As you're posting, boom. Okay, so these whole matches, I'm moving a lot. I like what you're doing here. You need to slow me down. Like case in point, you need to slow me down. And look at the difference between when I pull guard and when you pulled guard, right? When I pulled guard, I break the grip and I get to my guard. I don't just try to stay open. The best I can, I try to get to my guard and get to your back. Now, one thing I like that you do that I talked to before is I like right here. Here's my torn knee. And you're putting your elbow in it and you're pushing down. And that's not bad. I'm not bringing that up talking bad or like complaining about it. I think it's cool. I don't know if you know that you do it. But what it does is it makes me have to be cognizant of that scenario. So it's actually helping me, right? A lot of times when I roll with you guys, you think it's just me kicking your butt, but I have to learn too, right? And especially when you're big and strong, I have to break my guard, I have to get to something else, and I have to hide this knee, right? Because it's a little weak, and I don't want you really focusing on it. Now right here, which is just normal white belt stuff, you're just having grips to have grips, but nothing's really dominant. Like that grip right there that you have, where your fingers are like this, you don't really have a submission. You're not really keeping my ability to turn into you, you know? So it's just having grips to grips. When you're gripping, you should be gripping with the intention of using it to, lack of a better term, get you to a better outcome, right? So once we get here, what I want to do is now I'm trying to get space, right? I need to get space. It looks like you're trying to do a cross collar choke on me. The problem is this hand here needs to be flipped over and turned into the collar and then come down. So you really don't have anything executed around my neck, okay? So now we're gonna go over here. And now I'm trying to get a collar behind your head. Now the reason I have the collar behind your head, or trying to do that again, I didn't really have an option for it. I really didn't know what I was doing with it, other than trying to get you to freak out a little bit and move, right? I don't want to be there. I don't want you on top of me with your collar. It probably would have been better if you focused hard on adjusting your grip here, getting it deeper, staying weighted on me, and then finishing out your collar choke. I would have done that. But I think you might have started getting scared that I got the collar around your neck, or I was trying to, so you gave up that position of dominance and you let me retain a guard. Right now it's like a semi-half guard, Really at this point, I'm using my grips and my foot here to keep you locked down on me. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to do is now I'm trying to break your posture because I want to get you back into my guard, which I'm trying to get to right now. You're doing a really good job of fighting it, keeping away. And then at this point, you start to stand up on your knees. You're pushing down on that leg again. I know that I'm having issues with that leg right now. So what I need to do is I need to get that leg away. You kind of let your arm let go of it, which was good for me. And now I'm starting to invert, move around, trying to get you flustered. And what I was trying to do, which you did good at now achieving almost a proper grip, is I was trying to catch the arm bar there on the way around, but I saw I didn't have it. Now, here's the thing. Right here, I like that. Go back. And you did this very well. I like this. Once I start getting to half guard or knee shield, I believe. So boom, you start anchoring in between my legs and you start getting a grip. That's good, right? Once you get a grip, you step across. Now, what would have been easier, you would have got it faster, right? Is when you get this grip here. Okay, boom. So you're stepping behind, really? And that's fine, but you could have actually just lifted your knee. And if you lifted your knee and placed it right here above my knee and slid through, it would have kept all your weight on me. And thus you could have came forward and you would have had me like planted on the ground, right? And then you probably would have had a lot better position at the end of it by doing it that way, rather than stepping your foot behind and trying to get around. Because when you stepped your foot behind, you gave me the ability to turn and retain guard and put us in like kind of like a mini scramble situation. And this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to get in. Now I'm getting my feet back and forward, and trying to keep you away while I try to figure out, what type of either offense or defense I'm going to start using. You're doing really good, I think, at keeping control of my legs. I like this in our role here. You, for the most part, are really trying hard to keep control of my legs, and I think you should stick with that. So what happened here? Basically, I got the lasso guard on you. And not only I got the lasso guard on you, but I think you gave me this foot. Yeah, so now I have the lasso guard in, and I'm going for the lasso sweep, and I have control of your arm. Yeah, you gave me this foot right here. Boom. So this foot right here, you actually locked it and gave it to me, so that's going to guide you over when I lasso sweep you. Rule of thumb, a lot of times in Jiu-Jitsu, especially if I'm grabbing your legs from the bottom, break the grip. Break the grip, pull the grip, don't let me get that. And you'll have a little bit more success not getting swept so much. All right, now I'm back in the mount. I'm probably looking for an Ezekiel, which I got. You can't see it here, but a lot of times with the Ezekiels, you have to get a hand in there because you're trying to cover the fist, right? If you can get a full wrist in here, I have to be really, really strong if your chin's down and you have a wrist to finish an Ezekiel. And I'm probably not going to sit there and burn out my arms for that, right? Most people will just move to something else. Unless it's a tournament and they're just in a dominant position, they'll stay, I guess. But with you, I get a lot of Ezekiels on you because you keep your neck up rather than chin down. And a lot of times when you fight, like I've talked before, you fight with long arms, you don't fight with T-Rex arms. And if your chin's down, you're fighting with T-Rex arms, you're gonna have a little bit more defense in these type of scenarios. Okay, so now I'm trying to pick up the pace a little bit with you. And I go for the ankle pick, right? Now with the ankle pick, okay, here we go. Check this out. So once I get the ankle pick, your first initial reaction is to put your leg over my head and you're letting me stay in between your legs. That's not good. Your first initial reaction should either be taking this foot, putting it into my shoulder to push me away, or you should be taking this hand and pushing my head away and starting to get to your hip, starting to get up, right? By you putting your foot over, it's going to give me the ability to start passing right here. And I actually passed the wrong way. I'm not perfect either, but I'm passing the knee through. Now you're doing a good job of kind of like framing my head out, which I like a lot. But now you gave up on the frame. And that's because we were stuck in a position where you were framing very well, but you were doing absolutely nothing with it. And now here's the thing about the frame. Not only are you framing very well, I think your frames are well, but you're turning the wrong way, right? You're framing and turning outwards, which you should be framing and turning away from me and pushing me this way over here, right? Push me over here and then get your knee in and shrimp away. So your frames, I like a lot. And I think I remember feeling like, God, these got some good frames. But you're pushing me the wrong way. You're pushing me, like, I guess, forward. I would like to see you push me away from you, shrimp out, get your knee in. I think that would have been a lot better for you. Now, once you're doing that too, I'm just laying on your arm here. I'm trying to get some of your lapels out, and I'm just trying to stay heavy, but also connect your hip, right? Again, you're doing good at being strong there. Again, I like that. Be strong there. If you feel that my base is a little off, push me off. Straighten out your arms. It's okay. So a knee slice or cut through or something again. Now we're back in the same position. Now, my base is always very, very small, and my feet are spread, and I give you the dreaded block the hip. If anybody else is watching this that's not Jamie or your blue belt or white belt, this little thing right here has given me control on so many people in jiu-jitsu that even sometimes I feel like I shouldn't have controlled. Being able to just block the hip, this simple little thing when you guys are passing or you guys get into side control is amazing. It's really hard to deal with if somebody's not really understanding what's going on. And you just stay connected to their hip the whole time. So I like it a lot. So good. Again, you got frames, which I like. Now I'm just trying to knee on belly. I'm just gut checking you. That time you did good. That time you're trying to push me away, but it was a little bit too late. And I think you were waiting for me. Now here, you're waiting for me to, I think you're trying to catch me off balance. Okay, now here's the thing. I 100% like totally think in this type of situation, I didn't have it that well. I have to really, really get it deep and snug. And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna put my forehead in my own wrist to finish it when you're in my close guard. This should not finish you. All you should do is push on my face, push on my head post, and just get space. Just posture up, and it should break my wrist. I'm not gonna be able to get through because I don't have that arm length, and most people don't have that arm length to handle your how big you are. So I would have just pushed me away and just sat up. I think that was just maybe you got scared or you just assumed that it was deep and you didn't want to get hurt. But I can tell you right there, 9 times out of 10, if I'm trying to pull an Ezekiel from my close guard, I probably don't have it, or just after the roll, I need to do something else to cinch it in better. And that was it. So a couple things to take from this, Jamie, which I would like to see. All in all, I think for where you're at in your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey, and any white belts watching this, glean from the fact that your whole job at white belt basically is to survive. And I think Jamie did that very well. And also, as a white belt, I say this all the time, which I truly believe it's something that if you learn now, it'll save you a lot of heartache later in jiu-jitsu, is learn when you need space and when you need to take space away. Case in point, if I have you in guard, I need to take your space away. Or if I have you in closed guard, I need to take your space away. If you're in my closed guard, you need to get space, right? So you can get out. If you can really understand the fundamentals of space in jiu-jitsu, I think it's gonna help you out a lot. And Jamie, if you're watching, I would really focus on, you have really good frames. I would focus on framing into somebody and shrimping out, and I think that'll help you out a lot. All right. Okay, sounds good. All right, hey, if you're Jamie, if you're watching, good roll. Anybody else watching, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.